Buenas, soy Sevedat y estamos en el capítulo 28 de Triangle Strategy, el let's play de este increíble videojuego, excepto por la parte de que no puedes cambiar de trabajo. Es lo único que no me gusta del juego, y ya está, todo lo más es 10 de 10, así que mi nota para este juego es 9 de 10. Para mí, repito. El único puntito mágico sería cambiar de trabajo. Por ejemplo, y sí, lo estoy alargando porque me sale de las pelotas. Para mí, por ejemplo, el Bravely Default es 10 de 10. El Shin Megami Tensei es 100 de 10, obviamente. El remake del Shin Megami Tensei 3 también es 100 de 10. El Dragon Quest es 11 de 10. Y no sé, por ejemplo, el Deathloop para mí sería un 10 de 10 si pudiera poner más habilidades a la vez al protagonista. Así que es 9 de 10. Para mí, repito, es mi opinión. Nadie tiene que ser influenciado por ella. Y vamos con la balanza. Después de que es terminada la fase de persuasión y comenzar la votación, sí. Saldrá la verde sí o sí. Pero sí o sí. Votación.
It is time to cast our votes. The opinions before us are many. Roland's, Frederica's, Benedict's. Which to choose? Approach the scales of conviction with your token at the ready.
¿Por qué la chica es la última? ¡Sexistas! Es broma. Digo del orden.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Bien. 2.
You have my vote.
3.
I have faith in you.
¿En serio? ¿A ti no te he convencido?
I'm with you.
Bien, 4. Hemos ganado.
The scales of conviction will illuminate the path we've chosen.
Nadie ha estado con Benedict. Normal. El final que quiero. Pero espera, la tía no había dicho que seguía el de su majestad. Pensaba que lo del halcón iba con Roland.
The way forward is decided.
Pues mira, mayoría absoluta.
Frederica's dream is worth realizing. We will free the Roselle from the source.
Si mis lamentos despertaran, si mis lamentos despertaran pasiones. Fin. Joder. En serio, no entiendo por qué el castellano hace que se me trabe la lengua tanto. De verdad. Flipo. Por eso prefiero el catalán. Lo he dicho susurrando para que no me maten.
A tumultuous meeting exposes a yawning chasm between Roland, Frederica, and Benedict's visions for the future. Yet only one will emerge victorious, for such is the custom of House Wolford. As ever, the time has come for judgments to be rendered and leaders to steel themselves for the outcome.
Vamos con el final de... A ver si adivino, se nos unirá el lancero Rosé, ¿verdad? Aquí.
We've chosen our path. We are to free the Roselle being held in Hyzant's source.
You have chosen the one path I cannot take.
¿Te vas? Pues de acuerdo, fuera. Me importas un nabo.
I understand your disappointment, Benedict, but the scales have spoken. And so I ask for your wisdom. Help us find a way to free the Roselle.
No, que se vaya si quiere.
Hyzant will destroy everything you hold dear if you attempt to free them.
No, vete, Benedict, tranquilo, no pasa nada. Puedes irte.
That way lies ruin. Your choice is to turn your back on this house, to cast aside your land and the people who have built their lives upon it.
Es lo que he decidido yo y la balanza, así que... That.
I will not, I cannot endorse such betrayal.
¿Quieres hacer un 1 contra 1? ¿Eh?
I agree that we will be ill-prepared to defend the domain this way. Should that come to pass, I am prepared to flee with the Roselle and search for Centralia. They say it is home to a boundless salted sea. Surely a land where none need fight for salt is a land worth seeking.
Lo que me pregunto es cómo construiréis herramientas. ¿Con sal también? ¿O encontraréis hierro? Es solo curiosidad.
This is an opportunity, Benedict. We could find a new home instead of fighting the wars of old yet again.
Why not channel that resolve to lead the people of Norzelia as their king? You hold the power and the might. You lack only the will.
¿O no va a decir la verdad, verdad? Va a decir de que en realidad eres hijo del rey Serinoa.
With the salt crystals in hand, you shall ascend the throne. I shall see to it that you are coronated.
A ver si adivino ahora, Roland va a preguntar por qué dice lo de ascender al trono y este dirá, resulta que Don Serinoa es descendiente de tu padre.
Then we can liberate the Roselle, or whatever else your heart desires.
Liberate the Roselle or whatever else. I never dreamed I would hear such callous words fall from your lips.
I stand by them. I care only that you and the legacy of House Wolford are safe and secure. I shall offer my counsel by force, if needed.
You don't mean to fight the lad.
O 1 contra 1. Venga, va. De acuerdo.
Stand down, Benedict.
No, Anna.
1 contra 1. Venga.
This is a challenge that I must accept.
Venga.
I beg you to reconsider. If you mean to proceed with this folly, then you will do so over my dead body.
Bueno, matarte no, pero sí vamos a darte una buena paliza.
You can do so much more, Lord Serenoa. The salt crystals give you the upper hand. Esfrost and Hyzant would bend the knee to you. You could unite all Norzelia under your rule.
Lo que me decepciona es que no haya ninguna unidad con katana. Chao, toro cabreado. Disfruta la comida como siempre.
You were right about me, Benedict. I lack the will. I have no desire to rule Norzelia. I wish to see an oppressed people set free and nothing more.
At what cost? Would you see your loyal subjects conquered by another nation?
Sí, y que así no sufrirán un daño.
I would forfeit my lordship. The people of Wolfort will endure without me. The Roselle have no such champion for their cause. We are the only ones who can set them free.
Give me the order, and I shall reduce Hyzant to rubble. Then they shall be free.
The ensuing battle will only breed further resentment, or worse, displace others who will be treated like the Roselle. War cannot solve every problem, and our liberation of the Roselle shall prove as much.
So, you now take blind counsel from your betrothed. To think that an arranged marriage will lead to this folly.
Enough! I came to this conclusion of my own free will. I have seen the challenges that face Norzelia, and this is how I choose to respond.
You are every inch Lady Destra's child. Your compassion steers you headlong into every conflict. Alas, compassion is easily trampled.
Bueno,
It can only exist so long as it has an army at its back.
bueno, va, hacemos un uno contra uno, a ver qué tal.
My patience grows thin, Lord Serenoa. The salt crystals give you the power to bring peace to Norzelia.
Serenoa saca la espada y clávasela a Benedict.
You're wrong. It is little more than the catalyst for another protracted war.
Saca la espada, joder.
A war we can win. Let me lead you to victory.
There is always a war to be won. Do you not see the cycle at work? I will break that cycle and use my power to liberate the oppressed.
You talk of fleeing from your duty, of pure fantasy.
We need you, Benedict. Why can you not put our differences aside?
This is absurd. You race toward your own destruction, and I will not be party to it.
Pues adiós.
Lord Simon entrusted me with the future of this house. And I swore an oath to Lady Destra that I would protect you no matter what the cost.
Venga, saca la espada.
You are shackled to the past, Benedict.
I would call it loyalty.
And it has come to this. For the sake of our future, I must strike you down.
Prepare yourself. You came, you missed.
Here!
You came, you missed. I yield. Grant me the mercy of a swift death.
Tú eres tonto.
No. Neither father nor mother would stand for the killing of a loyal retainer. The rest of us shall make our way to Hyzant in secret. You will lead the people out of the Wolfort domain before the Hyzantian army assaults this castle, and keep them safe.
These are your orders, in exchange for sparing my life?
These are not orders, and there is no exchange to be made. This is the last thing I will ever ask of you as my steward and loyal friend of House Wolfort.
Estoy diciendo muchas más cosas de lo que está escrito.
And so, you follow in the footsteps of Lord Simon and Lady Destra. leaving me behind with the most arduous tasks. I shall rise to the occasion, my lord. I shall do whatever is required to see that the Wolfort name and its people survive. Should House Wolfort lose its lord, I shall lead the house forward in your stead.
I have no doubt you will.
Vaya. Benedict te deja del grupo. Ahora falta Roland, que nos deje también.
Benedict.
Mule-headed fool.
¿Os
We've
olvidáis
each made
de...?
our choices. Now we must walk the path we believe is right.
Ahora nos va a abandonar Roland.
Yes.
King Roland, this decision means casting Glenbrook aside. I know I cannot ask you to come with me, but will you agree to see to the salt crystals?
No. I am sorry, my friend. But I am not worthy to oversee such an important task.
Of course you are. You have always striven to be fair and just.
You hold me much too high in regard. Our conversation earlier made me realize the truth. My faith was misguided, as were my actions.
Oh, ¿te vas a quedar?
I believed exacting vengeance upon Esfrost would be proof enough I was Glenbrook's rightful king. But I gave no thought to the bloody cost of revenge. This kingdom and its subjects should not have to suffer such a selfish fool upon the throne.
Then, you will come with me?
I shall. Not as your king, but as your friend.
Oh,
If I can help, Glenbrook has the geographical advantage, and the salt crystals. And there are a small handful of trustworthy nobles remaining. I'm certain they will ensure the people thrive, even without a king.
oh, se me acaba de comprar el Ghostwire Tokyo Game por 90 euros. Por la edición Deluxe. Bueno, además de los gastos de envío de las pelotas. 90 euros. 90 euros.
Glenbrook is in too powerful a position for foreign powers to interfere.
Roland,
Por cierto, pienso hacer nueva partida plus de este juego y la grabaré, pero en muy fácil, porque me apetece.
You know you aren't leaving me behind. I've come this far by your side. I'm not abandoning you now. You have my thanks, Huette.
Frederica, don't you think you ought to make your convictions clear to your companions?
Well, it's common knowledge by now that I'm an Esfrosti of Rosellan descent. I was a lonely child who hated that her hair was a different color from everyone else. But then I joined House Wolfort. I met Jerome and witnessed the cruelty that my fellow Roselle suffered at the source. And I learned how brave my mother was, how long and hard she fought for her people's freedom. Compared to the horrors they went through, I have lived a life of privilege and comfort.
A ver, no es que lo creas, es que es verdad que has vivido una vida así.
I am proud to be a Rosellan, and proud to be a Wolfort. I wish to be strong, strong like my lady mother before me. And I wish to see her dream of freeing our people fulfilled. I understand the difficulties that lie ahead, but hope that I might have you all with me.
Sí, mujer, sí.
We will always be there beside you, Frederica.
My lord, Hyzant's army has sent a message ahead of their forces.
Las vamos a ignorar, ¿no? Vamos directamente a Dunálgida.
It says, the Grand Norzalian mines must be conferred to the goddess as a divine offering.
An offering? Sounds more like an ultimatum.
Precisely. If we refuse to relinquish the mines, they'll put the Wolford domain to the sword.
Then we've no time to waste. We must make ready to leave at once.
Uh,
Benedict.
I leave the rest in your hands, Anna.
All these years I have watched you. I may not be able to replace you, but I will do my best.
Loath as I am to burden you with such responsibility, that is heartening.
This ain't the Benedict I know. Come on, where's your usual glower?
You never change.
Huh, I should hope not. Defending House Wolford calls for consistency. And defend Wolford I shall, even in your absence.
I shall hold you to it, both of you.
I'm telling you, we've got it under control.
Your voice hasn't gotten any quieter.
Sorry. Parting ways with a friend always gets me worked up.
Thank you for seeing me off, you two. Farewell.
What of the Hyzantian forces?
They haven't entered the domain yet. If we act now, we could sneak around them and reach the capital.
Y también me jode que no haya una unidad que invoque.
Focused as they are on seizing the salt crystal deposits, I'd wager their domestic defenses are at a minimum.
If we can get into the capital and have the Roselle and the Source take up arms, we should stand a fair chance of helping them escape.
But Hyzant is wary of Serenoa for keeping the salt crystals from them, despite his position as one of the Saintly Seven. They may be short-handed, but if they spot him, we'll never make it inside.
We can use the Consortium cart to slip unnoticed into the capital.
The wagon from Claris? You sure we can trust the Consortium?
Yes. If only because this benefits both us and him. In exchange, I told him what secrets we learned of Esfrost and Hyzant.
You mean you told them of Dragan's murder and the illicit salt trade? I hope he understands those secrets must never leave his lips.
He understands. Once people learn of the salt crystals, Norzelia will change. And the Consortium will have a new role to serve. Now that they know, they will be better prepared to negotiate their position. They agreed to help us as a show of gratitude.
You've thought this through. Well done, Anna.
What of our things, Gila?
Stored safely within the cart, of course.
Things? What thing?
The explosives we found in the tunnel.
After we've gotten the Roselle to rise up,
Buenísimo.
we'll set sail from the harbor and make for the Folk's Domain, to the Great Falls. To make sure no one follows us, we'll blow up all the other ships in the harbor as we leave.
Frederica and I devised the plan ourselves.
A perfect way to make an escape with so many people.
Wise of you to make for the Falk's Domain. It's distant enough. You'll have plenty of time to hide.
Aye, about as far south as you can get. No better place, if your end goal is Centralia, too.
It's a good plan. We shall do what we can to make sure it succeeds.
Crafty as ever, you Wolforts. I am glad to be on your side.
But one problem remains. How do we get the Roselle and the Source to turn against their captors? If we can't win their trust, all this is for naught.
We need some way of persuading them. And quickly.
Let me worry about that. I can find the words to convince them. I am my mother's daughter after all.
All right. I know you'll figure something out, Frederica.
There is one more thing. Huette, I'll need to send a bird.
Of course, my lady. Where to?
The Rosellan village. I'd like to tell Jerome and the others of our plan.
Se nos unirá Gerron, ¿verdad?
I would have them meet us at the Great Falls.
Agreeing to such a thing means they will have to give up the lives they enjoy now.
I cannot say. Regardless, I owe it to them to let them know Hyzant is invading.
Indeed. Let us send word and see what they have to say.
Upon learning of the salt crystal deposits, Hyzant quickly musters her forces. They march upon the Wolfort domain, intent on seizing control of the mine. Serenoa decides to take this as an opportunity to free the Roselle enslaved at the source. But that decision leads to Benedict's departure from House Wolfort. Still grappling with grief over parting ways with their friend, Serenoa and the others make for the Hyzantian capital. There, amidst a land in turmoil, they hope to help the Roselle rise up against their oppressors.
Toma. Oh, nuevo personaje, nuevo personaje. Nuevo personaje. ¡Hostia! ¿Qué cojones es esto? Su velado comerciante anuncia que a viva voz que en los dominios de Wolfort jamás se ha visto un muñeco danzarín como el que vende. ¿Qué dices? Obviamente, como ya está elegido esto. A ver. Toma, se nos une un muñeco.
Welcome one and welcome all. Behold! You'll find no finer selection of exotic wares in all the land. Sparkling jewels, beautiful silks, and the rarest curio of them all. This automaton. It sings, it dances, it does it all. That's your cue, Decimal.
Vale.
Welcome one and welcome all.
Seguramente es de la época de los Rosé, ¿verdad?
Welcome and welcome and welcome and
What's wrong with that thing? Stay away!
You blasted sack of screws! I bought you to lure in customers, not scare them off!
I am sorry. I did not mean to lose functional control again.
Useless rusted heap of bolts! I've lost track of all the gold I've squandered on your repairs, and for what gain? But no more. I won't empty my coin purse trying to make riches out of rubbish.
Vaya.
Ah, perfect timing. You there. How would you like an automaton to call your very own? What are you waiting for? Dance for them.
Welcome one and welcome all. Welcome one and welcome all.
Incredible, isn't it? Bet you've never seen its like before.
Indeed, but...
Then it's all yours. So long, Decimal. Be good for your new master.
Qué hijo de fruta. Y se va corriendo.
Wait! Fleet of foot, that one. What shall we do with it?
It wouldn't do to simply abandon it here. Perhaps it can be of some use to us. You'll look after it, won't you, Anna?
Qué hijo de...
If that is your wish.
Vaya, me gusta, me gusta, me gusta. A ver, ¿cuál es su especialidad?
My name is Decimal. I hope I will serve you well, Master.
Don't call me that. My name's Anna.
As you command, Master Anna.
Mal se ha unido a tu grupo. A ver, puede que sea un muñeco, pero no por ello es menos capaz. Es inmune a todos los estados alterados. Sus habilidades tienen un alcance muy amplio y le permiten crear efectos variados según la cantidad de PT y PTE que tenga el enemigo. Hostia. Hostia. Decimal. A ver, vamos a ver las habilidades. El decimal, ¿qué nivel eres? 26. Numerologista. Telescopio. 105. Hostia. Automación del muñeco. Pasiva. Otorga inmunidad contra todos los estados alterados, pero la unidad no obtiene PT al inicio de sus turnos. Ah, vale. Otra, espera. Otorga 3 PT cuando termina su turno de acción sin moverse y sin ejecutar órdenes. Mola. De 1 a 3. De 1 a 10. Inflige daño mágico no elemental a todos los enemigos dentro del alcance cuyos PV restantes sean un múltiplo de 3. Vale. Inflige daño mágico no elemental a los enemigos en cuyos PV restantes sea múltiplo de 4. Reduciendo su movimiento en 1 para 3 turnos. Múltiplo de 5. Inflige daño mágico no elemental a todos los enemigos. Los PV restantes en múltiplo de 5. Altitud cualquiera, pero alcance 10. Y esto es a nivel 29. Hostia, mira la defensa física. La defensa mágica, hostia. O sea, voy a ponerme a este sí o sí, A ver, vamos a poner a Roland, el equipo de antes. Cinco. Tres. Aumenta todo en 3, ¿no? Sí. Es nuestra unidad OP. Se mueve mucho. Vale, y a nuestro amigo aquí le vamos a aumentar ataque mágico, ¿no? Daño mágico no elemental. Sí, ataque mágico. Ataque mágico. No. Ah, no tengo sortijas de ataque mágico. Vale, vamos a intentar comprar doble ataque mágico para este. Campamento. ¿Es algo nuevo? No parece. No, no parece. A ver, ¿qué pasa si es enviara a este? Objetivo, altura más 5. Estás dorado. Aumenta la vida, aumenta los PT. Ataque físico y ataque mágico. A ver si es verdad. No. Vale. Ataque mágico. Hija de ataque mágico. Brazalete de ataque mágico. Y previene el estado de silencio. Bueno, da igual lo del silencio. Sí. A nuestro amigo. Vale. Aumento la velocidad en 3. En 50. Sortija de ataque mágico. No, solo 2. Vale, pues aquí irá el ataque mágico normal entonces. 32. 25. 30, claro. 32. 32. 30. 33, así que tampoco va muy mal de ataque mágico. ¿Puede mejorar su arma? Seguramente sí. Esto sí, pero no mejora nada. Aumenta el daño infligido PV por 3, 4, 5. Aumenta el poder del arma y provoca más daño. Flor ignota. Flor ignota y piedra excepcional. Defensas va muy bien, así nada más. Vale. No me esperaba que se muñera un autómata.
Archduke Gustadov. We received word from Wolford. XM's forces have crossed into their domain.
So they know of the Salt Crystals. Then battle is inevitable. How will House Wolford respond?
I should think it obvious they will attack us. Their lord is one of the Saintly Seven, after all.
I am unconvinced of that. Perhaps they will offer us Salt Crystals to secure our alliance.
To what end?
History is changing around us as we speak. If Wolford wishes to guide the shape our future takes, he will need all the help he can get. He can choose to submit to Hyzant's tyranny, or work with us to bring freedom to our land. Or he might choose to take advantage of the chaos. Will you follow in Lady Orlea's footsteps, Frederica?
¿En serio ha pensado una tercera posibilidad? Joder, no me esperaba esto de él.
Somehow I doubt it.
Your pardon, Archduke.
It's nothing. I let my thoughts wander too far. Whatever path Wolford chooses, they all lead to war. Ready our forces.
Vaya. Vamos a ver qué pasa con el oráculo.
Minister Exham's forces ought to be crossing into Wolford's domain any moment now.
Will it be war, or will they relinquish the Salt Crystal deposits without resistance?
I think we have no cause for worry. Minister Serenoa is one of our Saintly Seven, after all.
Nevertheless, we cannot be certain what he will choose. Whoever controls those Salt Crystals controls the future of all Norzelia. Knowing that, you truly think he would give them up without a fight?
Minister Lila is right. He may very well decide to ally with Aesfrost and rise up against us. I made sure Minister Exham understood he may very well be marching to war.
Wolford is a prideful house. If we apply too much pressure on them, they may hold out simply out of principle.
Tienes razón, Kansa.
Honestly, they are more trouble than they are worth. It almost makes me wish we could turn them and Aesfrost against each other.
That is something else to consider. We could even promise them the Roselle's freedom, should they triumph over the Duchy.
A fine proposition. The best outcome would be to have them destroy Aesfrost for good.
And in doing so, they'd be destroyed themselves. Surely you would not wish for such slaughter.
Soft hearts have no place here, Minister Camsell. We fight for control of all Norzelia.
And we must fight to win. Our troops will need Elfric, Minister Lila. See that they have it.
Of course. I'll see to any final adjustments at the Ministry of Medicine.
Hijos de fruta todos. Todos y cada uno de ellos.
What? You want us to leave the city?
You couldn't have told us this sooner?
I understand I ask much of you, but a bloody battle is nigh. You must be ready to evacuate if it comes to it.
But where is our lord? Won't he protect us?
Lord Serenoa marches toward an even fiercer conflict than what we face here. He left me to protect the people of Wolford in his stead. I ask that you trust in our house and do as I bid.
All right then.
Well, I suppose we'll start packing.
Your mastery at matters of war has kept us safe this long. If you say we need to leave, that's what we'll do.
You have my thanks. I've one more thing to ask of you. Something I'd like each of you to make.
Última gracia, fin. Capítulo 18. ¿Será el capítulo final? Pensaba que llevaba 1 hora y 45, pero no.
Concealed aboard Claris's consortium cart, Serenoa and his retinue slip out of the Wolfort domain past Exham's forces and make for the Hyzantian capital. As soon as they arrive, they review the particulars of their plan to lead the Roselle in revolt.
Capítulo 18. Lo profundo clamo a ti.
Scouts are reporting the Hyzantian army has crossed into the Wolfort domain. The force is commanded by Minister Exham, and is many times larger than what they used when we marched on the Crown City.
Enough to destroy Castle Wolfort, and then some. They ain't aiming just to scare us.
A foe even Benedict would be hard-pressed to prevail against.
Have faith, Anna. Benedict will protect our people as he always has.
I know.
That said, we cannot defend the domain itself. Our land and our castle will doubtless fall to Exham's forces.
Then we must act as if we have no home to return to.
We cannot waver in our resolve.
No, the time for doubts is long past. Listen well. After we have freed the Roselle from the Source, we will set our sights on their homeland in the south, on Centralia.
Ojalá esto signifique un boss contra alguna criatura diferente, o sea, que no sea contra humanos, como siempre pasa en este juego.
We will find the Endless Sea and create a land free of suffering.
Imaginas una criatura hecha, bueno, una criatura basada en sal. Su vida sea basada en la sal o algo así.
A far-fetched dream if ever there was one, I know. I will not blame any of you if you do not wish to come.
A bit late for second thoughts now.
Aye, we're with you, my lord. Wherever you...
Then it's decided.
Y el tío que está entre la espía y Serenoa también se nos une.
We have much to discuss about our rescue plan. Claris, if you would.
The wagon will have to pass through an inspection at the goddess's shield before entering the city. I can throw my consortium weight around to see you safely through the inspection, but
that's more than enough. Thank you.
Then let's muscle our way into the source. The guards won't expect an attack from the outside.
Getting in is not what worries me.
Indeed. The biggest obstacle we face is getting the Roselle to follow us out.
They've been treated as criminals under the teachings for so long, they've come to believe they are guilty. They might be too terrified of disobeying the goddess to even agree to rise up.
Ostras, lucharemos contra el oráculo.
My mother led them in revolt 30 years ago.
True, but only a small handful of people escaped.
I know. Freeing all of them means we must be even bolder than my mother.
Have you thought of how you'll convince them?
I have.
Dilo.
I will smash the statue of the goddess to pieces. If If they see her idol destroyed, the fear shackled about their hearts will break. Without terror to hold them back, the uprising of 30 years ago will look tiny in comparison.
Como te equivoques, estamos jodidos.
But that statue was massive. How are you gonna reduce it to rubble?
Bombas.
I'm going to blow it up.
Ah, yes, if we use all the explosives we have, it will, but then we'd have none to destroy the ships that pursue us.
Exactly. That's why I think we ought to use Elfric on the ships instead.
Elfric? It is more powerful than the explosives.
And perfect for blowing up ships.
There must be some stored at the Ministry of Medicine, considering Minister Lila's involvement in its creation. But how will we detonate it without Milo?
Considering all the research they conducted, there must be some sort of documentation on how to use it.
Then what are we waiting for? If Lady Frederica's plan is going to succeed, we better go track some down.
All right, and we have our plan.
My friends. Thank you.
Lucha, inspección.
I'll handle the guards. Don't move a muscle, any of you. Don't even breathe. Hail! I am Claris of the Consortium. I bring goods for trade in the city, if you'll give me leave to pass.
Claris! Consortium's working you hard.
In these dangerous times, 'tis a privilege to be in such good employ. But you worked even harder than I. Here, a small token of my appreciation.
You always have been a thoughtful man. Go on, then.
Wait! We cannot allow unscheduled goods into the city without inspection.
Fine. Guess there's no such thing as being too careful.
You needn't worry. Minister Kamsel of the Saintly Seven sent for these goods himself.
He did?
Oh, yes. Look closely, and you'll see.
What have you done? Ah, you snake! I must call for reinforcements!
Off.
Claris, are you all right?
My apologies. Luckily, mine was the only face they saw. I will draw off the reinforcements while you make for the Ministry of Medicine. Quickly now. And do not forget to retrieve the explosives you buried in my cargo.
I'm sorry we've put you to such trouble. And we'll likely have to blow up Consortium ships on top of everything else.
Cause as much trouble as you wish. I know you'll repay me for it once this is all over.
Hurry. The majority of their forces may be absent, but we're finished if a guard catches sight of us.
To the Ministry of Medicine with us.
Investigación, sí.
Unsurprising to find researchers here.
Hyzant still doesn't know we're moving against them. They shouldn't think us suspicious as long as we walk at a calm pace.
We can't go that slowly.
Minister Kamzil is in charge of the guards, and he's no pushover. The longer we take, the more we'll lose our freedom of movement.
Claris is clever, but he could still get captured.
Then we'd best split up.
Indeed. We must find the Elfric, and quickly.
Un rato más tarde, nos hemos separado para buscar los cristales de Elfric, pero por mi parte aún no me he topado con ninguno. Me pregunto qué tal les irá a los demás. Voy a hablar con ellos. 2700. Hoy. Ah, no había algo. Puedo ver más cosas. Hay más brillo. Brazalete de la suerte. Aumenta la suerte de la unidad en 5 y previene el estado furia. Hostia. Eso es para críticos, ¿no? Es que quitaría esto y pondría alguna otra cosa. Tiene la probabilidad de dirigir un ataque crítico. Ser el primero también mola. Por ahora lo dejaré así. Quiero que tenga un montón de ataque. Que salte un huevo, por ejemplo. Encontrar algo que me permita saltar lo haría mucho. Que brille por aquí. Toma, por encontrarlo todo, aumenta la conexión. En la corte médica las ciencias se rigen por el sigilo. Solo quienes participan en una investigación saben los detalles de esta. Deduzco que los cristales de Elfric son quizá su secreto mejor guardado. Tenemos que encontrar los cristales de Elfric e ir a la fontana lo antes posible. Liberaremos el hielo Rosé, expondremos las mentiras del creador de la diosa y ya no habrá pecado que valga para oprimirlos. Ahora que sabemos la verdad es lo más correcto. La batalla venidera abruma las víctimas y las heridas, desde luego. Por ello, estamos organizando una vía para tratar a cuantos pacientes sea posible. La verdad es que hay mucho más alboroto que la última vez. Supongo que se preparan para la batalla. Tal vez Layla esté por aquí. Ve con cuidado. Me pregunto qué será de Benedict ahora mismo. Mil perdones, Zagal. Mejor me preocupo por encontrar los cristales de Elfric, sí. Batallas como la que está por venir siempre son fuente de bonanza. Tantos muertos y heridos a los que investigar contribuirán sobremanera a nuestra investigación a Elfric. Vaya. El director Clarus nos ha ayudado bastante en llegar hasta aquí. Ahora lo que nos queda es liberar a los Osei y escoltarles fuera de Duna Álgida. Espera, ¿cómo? Ah, vale, es el polvo este del mapa. Ah, vale, es simplemente por moverme. Vale. Pero, habla. Saludos, maestre Serenoa. ¿Buscáis por algún casual la catedrática de Layla? Sí. ¿He hablado contigo? Sí. Diré que el otro lado de la puerta está en los archivos. Tal vez allí encontremos algo respecto a los Aelfric. He conseguido forzar la armadura. Os informaré más tarde en cuanto haya encontrado. O en cuanto haya entrado. Vale, pues ya está. De acuerdo. Será mejor que retome la búsqueda de los cristales.
Lord Serenoa, look at this book.
What is it?
Did you find it?
No, only a book.
The Elfric method in practice. Does this detail how it is made?
Transforman a la gente o la sangre de la gente, ¿verdad?
Seems that way. It's littered with arcane terms I can scarcely comprehend. But if I'm grasping this correctly, the main component of Elfric is human remains.
Vaya.
It says here, having harvested the corpses of Roselle who perished at the source.
Harvesting corpses? For what foul purpose?
We did not intend for Elfric to be weaponized. Our original goal was to harness its immense magical capabilities to power the automaton.
El que tenemos nosotros.
Automaton? What manner of contraption is that?
I do not know, but I doubt it is anything kind or good.
I thought the Ministry of Medicine was supposed to, figure out how to save lives, not how to profit off death.
We've glimpsed the rot at Hyzan's core.
Minister Serenoa, what are you doing here?
Lucha, lucha. No hay nadie de nivel 28 en mi de esto. Esto no es de nadie, ¿eh? Esto de aquí. Vamos a la lucha.
Minister Lila, did you use Rosellan remains to create Elfric?
I advise taking more care with your words, Minister Serenoa. You are one of the Saintly Seven. You have a responsibility to protect Hyzan's secrets.
Then it is true.
You steal their freedom, their very lives. And you dare to call what you do healing?
Everything I have done was as the goddess willed. I call myself nothing but her loyal servant. All of us are hers to command.
No, not all of us.
House Wolfort means to free the Roselle from the goddess's tyranny.
Do you now?
As one committed to the preservation of life, you know salt should not be a luxury for the privileged few. Help us. If not for the Roselle, then to change Hyzan for the better.
No, obviamente.
Change, Hyzant? How wonderful that would be.
Then...
No. I cannot help you. The Holy One would have my head for turning traitor. Besides, my hands are far too bloody to ever be washed clean.
Jo, es una lástima que nos unas. Unidades. Perder todas las unidades, eliminar las tropas enemigas, eliminarlos a todos. 732. Claro que sí. Ralentización. Retrasa su turno y reduce su velocidad. Mágico no alimentado y proporciona al enemigo... los enemigos adyacentes tras los turnos. ¿Cómo? Inflige daño no limitado. Proporcionar al enemigo seleccionado y los enemigos adyacentes tras los turnos. Supresión temporal. Inflige detención a todos los enemigos dentro del alcance, lo que les impide realizar cualquier acción durante 2 turnos. Joder, hija de fruta. Este está recomendado, no vale. Pero hay que poner a este sí o sí. Para probarlo. Quizás no. El arquero está recomendado. Más que él. Haremos así. Defensa 29. Vale, a ver, voy a guardar. No. Comenzar, a ver qué tal. Pero eso lo veremos en el siguiente capítulo. Así que eso, hasta aquí este capítulo. Soy Sevedat y nos vemos en un próximo directo video. Chao.